Hey y'all, and welcome back to another video. Tonight for dinner we're having creamy Boursin chicken Alfredo pasta with a side of garlic cheese bread. These are the ingredients that you'll need. Some type of pasta noodles. The recipe calls for fettuccine, but I chose to use penne noodles. Butter, minced garlic, heavy cream, 4-ounce Boursin garlic and fine herbs cheese, salt and pepper, chicken tenderloins, and seasoning. So in a pan, I'm cooking up my chicken. Now, if you want, you don't have to use any meat in this recipe, or if you want to make sausage instead, you could do that as well. So I'm adding in some garlic and onion seasoning, and then I'm going to add in my Italian seasoning. And some salt and pepper. Now you don't have to use the same type of pasta that I'll be using. And my pasta water is on that back corner burner, getting ready to boil, and I've salted that water. So when it comes to a boil, all I have to do is add in my pasta noodles. So now I'm going to go ahead and add in about a tablespoon of my minced garlic. Now the recipe, and I'll link the exact recipe down below if you want to follow the exact recipe. It calls for fresh garlic cloves. I don't have that. I have the minced garlic that comes in a jar, so that's what I'm using. So as I mentioned, I'm using penne noodles instead of the fettuccine pasta that the recipe called for. If you want to use rotini noodles, macaroni noodles, you choose to whatever noodles that suits you and your family. Now here I've added in a whole 16-ounce container of heavy whipping cream. The recipe calls for 3/4 cream. I added the whole container simply because I added chicken as well. I'm going to be adding some broccoli to the dish as well, and I know that this sauce that I'm making is not going to be enough to cover everything in my dish, and I don't want my dish being dry. Now if you do happen to make a sauce and you add extra ingredients like noodles and chicken, and you find that it's dry, save some of your pasta water and just add it to your dish, and that should help with the consistency of the sauce. So here I'm going to add about half of this bag of broccoli. I put it in a container, added a little bit of water to the bottom of the container and seasoned it, and I have it going in the microwave for about 8 minutes. So at this point my sauce has been cooking for about 10 to 12 minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and add in my Boursin garlic and fine herb cheese. So they have a bunch of different flavors, but to me this is going to go best with this dish. Now when you cook your broccoli in the microwave, if you take it out and you find that it's not soft enough, if it's too crunchy, all you have to do is just stick it back in there and cook it for additional 3 to 4 minutes. And that's what happened to me. I took it out after 8 minutes and it wasn't the texture that I wanted, so I just put it back in there. So now I'm going to move on while I'm waiting for this to thicken and make my cheesy Italian bread. Now this is a Italian loaf bread. All I'm doing is slicing it up. I'm going to spread some butter on each of the slices, lay my slices on a baking sheet, sprinkle them with some garlic powder, and top them with the sharp cheddar cheese that you see in the back there. These cook for about 8 minutes until the crust around the edges are kind of crispy, not burnt, and the cheese is melted. Now while I'm doing this, I'm doing multiple things at one time. I'm not just waiting to cook one thing at a time. So if you're on a tight schedule or you just don't feel like being in the kitchen, just make sure you have everything working for you. So I have my sauce thickening, I'm putting my garlic bread in the oven, and I have my broccoli in the microwave cooking. So it all finishes kind of around the same time and you're not in the kitchen all night. So as you see, my sauce has thickened up after simmering for about an additional, I'd say 7 to 10 minutes. Now I'm going to take my fully cooked broccoli that I had cooked in the microwave. I'm going to add that to my sauce. So now we have the sauce, we have the broccoli, we have the chicken, and we're going to add in our pasta noodles. Now, I could have only cooked half of the pasta noodles because I cooked the whole box and I didn't end up using it. But you think you're going to use the whole box, then cook the whole box. But me personally, when I make this dish again, I'll only do half. Now if you notice, I took the broccoli out of the container earlier with a slated or a spoon with holes in it because I didn't want to pour that broccoli right into my sauce because it did have broccoli juice at the bottom and I didn't want that in my final dish. So y'all, this dinner was delicious. Everybody in my family enjoyed it, and I will definitely be making this again. As I mentioned before, the exact recipe will be listed in the description box below. And this is what my garlic cheesy Italian bread looked like after it came out of the oven. I plated it up on my dish and it was a hit, and I definitely be making this below. So let me know if you and your family decide to make this dish. I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching. Bye.